Hello everyone and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah and today I will be doing a reading for the sign of Scorpio for the month of April 2023. I hope all my Scorpio friends out there are doing well. Do let me know in the comment section how the month of March went for you. Did you have a lot of fluctuations when it came to your energy? Did you plant seeds? Did you tend to your seeds? Did you do any kind of grounding techniques? It would be really great for me to find out and also connect with your energies as well. Thank you so much for everyone who does leave comments. I greatly appreciate it. As you know, Scorpio, this is a general reading, so there will be parts that may not resonate with all of you. Only take the parts that do and leave the rest for someone else. I've already meditated on the cards. I've already shuffled the cards, and this is the spread that I have for you today. In the past position, we do have the Emperor, clarified by the Nine of Swords. In the challenging position, we have the Star, clarified by the Hanged Man. In the present position, we have the Page of Swords, clarified by Justice. And in the future outcome position, we do have the King of Wands, clarified by the Four of Wands. The end of the month of April is going to bring you a lot of wonderful things. I think you really will be quite noticed. So do get ready to receive some attention. Rightfully so, Scorpio. You have, helped a lot of people in your community. You've had a lot of impact on your friends and your family. So, things are going to be working out in your favor. However, let's start from the beginning. In the past position, we do have the Emperor, which is great. It's a great card because the Emperor is all about power and influence. The Emperor is someone who understands what it takes to wield the power. He understands how to create order out of chaos. He understands that leadership and authority is very important, and he conducts himself as such. So definitely this tells me that maybe some of you, in the process of being your own boss, had to make some difficult decisions, because you do have the Nine of Swords in the clarifying position, which is a card of worry and anxiety and not being able to sleep, and really kind of worrying about specific decision making, specific things that may be coming up. So the Emperor is not really restful. He's worried how other people might take it or how the situation might play out. So definitely in the recent past, maybe Scorpio, you had to make some tough decisions where you weren't really having great alternatives, so you had to go with what you thought was going to be best. And I think that is great that you were able to make a decision, because sometimes there aren't really correct decisions, so you just have to make a call and go with what happens, and grow through that type of problem. As Carl Jung said that sometimes you can solve problems and other times you just grow out of them. So either way, you get it behind you, if you will. But the Emperor and the Nine of Swords is a bit of a tough combination, and the great thing is that it is in the past. Now, in the April, in the obstacle position, during the month of April, you do have the Star and the Hanged Man. Both of these are major arcana cards, so that is significant, because major arcana cards have a longer impact on your activities, especially during the month. And so the Star, when it appears in the challenging position, it's telling me that you may be not being super realistic about certain relationships in your life and certain situations in your life. You may be still functioning by looking back on the past and making decisions based on, you know, the past experience. And I realized that it's a like evolutionary advantage to be able to remember the past, and so we use it for evolution purposes. You know, we have to learn from the past mistakes, but at the same time, too many times we kind of believe that the past is controlling everything. It's important to let things go so that you can create new paths, so that you can create new experiences. Not everything is going to repeat itself. Not everything is going to happen to you because it, you know, happened a year ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So it's important to let the past go and be open-minded enough to work with the universe, to realize that you have 50% of responsibility in making sure that you work with the universe, and the universe has 50% to work with you. So it's important to kind of be open-minded, if not to others, then at least to the universe. You may experience, you know, some anxiety in the month of April because you do have the star in the obstacle position. You know, you may be a little bit frustrated because you're not seeing as many opportunities as you used to see before come your way. You may feel a little bit stagnant, especially because you do have the Hanged Man in the clarifying position. You may feel like, you know, either you are sacrificing, you know, something that isn't really needed to be sacrificed, like you're doing too much for no reason, or you may be too afraid to sacrifice something in order to move forward. So it's important to understand, you know, the elements that you are working with, and to understand your situation and to know yourself really, really, really well, so that you can avoid feeling, you know, stagnant, and so that you can avoid having to make a mistake of sacrificing something that is needless. It's very important to point out that the star and the Hanged Man are in the obstacle position because there's something that you have yet to learn. So there's some sort of a lesson, you know, that you need to complete learning. Otherwise, you will continue repeating similar mistakes or feeling stagnant. You may not necessarily be repeating a mistake, but some of you may be feeling stagnant. So it's important to kind of do the homework and work through with your emotions, because emotions are energy in motion, and so you have to work with your energy. Sometimes getting rid of that energy, sometimes some of the suffering that comes about is because we don't know how to work with energy. We don't know how to work with our emotions, and so we create that needless suffering because we are not working with the energy. And you know, sometimes working with energy requires going to the gym, or maybe traveling so you can experience something new, or you know, connecting with a person that thinks like you do, like-minded people. You know, there's different ways to work with energy, and when you have those experiences, you feel more fulfilled, and you kind of ease the suffering a little bit. So that is important to remember. Now, in the present position, you have the Page of Swords, which is interesting because the Page of Swords, you know, the swords are about being very logical. They are about being kind of communicating straight to the point. The sword is used to be able to be very direct and to be able to be very forward. You may find yourself in the month of April struggling a little bit between telling the truth and not telling the truth because you want to be compassionate to other people's feelings. And the Justice in the clarifying position is saying you got to do the right thing. So make sure that you realize that even at a temporary cost to your reputation, you still have to do the right thing. You still have to prefer to act in an honest manner rather than dishonest manner. And sometimes you can deliver the message to the person without necessarily hurting their feelings. You don't have to be, you know, cold and brutal with truth. You can try and be, warm and, and cuddly with truth, but still deliver the truth, if you will. With justice in the clarifying position, you have to trust the higher power, that the higher power will sort things out for you as they need to be. So with that regard, you are moving in the right direction. But, with the page, I just want to make sure with the sword cards, there's always two sides to the swords. There's always a double edge with the swords, On one hand, yes, the Page of Swords is going to give you the ability to be very logical, very truthful, very forward. But at the same time, there is that negative side to swords, There is that deceptive side to swords. There is a little bit of gossipy side to the Page of Swords. So make sure to, communicate very well with people, but don't divulge too much information, and don't put yourself in a vulnerable position by, repeating a rumor or saying anything that may be construed as gossiping, if you will. And remember, in tarot, energy is interchangeable, so it could be someone else with the Page of Swords energy who is, appears to be who is on one hand very direct and very logical, but on the other hand is, a little bit of a deceptive person. So you do have to keep an eye out. Anytime you have swords, you gotta get your analytical mind going. So you gotta pay attention specifically to the details as well. Now the great thing is, towards the end of April, you have the King of Wands and the Four of Wands, which is really a wonderful combination, because King of Wands is giving you the success. He's giving you the accomplishment. He's giving you, a really good omen that the risk you have taken is going to pay off for you, that you are successful and your projects are going to be, as expected by you, definitely very successful. Specifically when it comes to the community, to people that are around you, to people that you may be working with, to people that may be in your neighborhood. Definitely there may be a celebration, a gathering. There's something that's happening that's going to put the spotlight on you. So do get ready for some attention. Overall, the majority of the difficulties are behind you. You had to make some difficult decisions, tough decisions, that may have made you feel a little bit tired and a little bit, withdrawn. But at the same time, you're pushing through and you are staying committed to the task at hand. You are delivering on all of the goals that you have set for yourself. And that is, the most important. But let's see what we can clarify with the Energy Oracle cards that I pulled earlier. We have the World and we have Envy. The man in this picture is looking out over a bay above which the beautiful sphere of the earth is rotating. This card is reminding you to expand your vision and contemplate some much broader options. The world is wide, so there's a lot out there to consider. In the modern age of technology, this could specifically be referring to creating or expanding to a more global network through the internet or social marketing. The world is your oyster, so get ready to gobble it up. Remember, there are resources available to you, so think big. Create big dreams so that you can accomplish so many wonderful things in this lifetime. The World is a wonderful card that signifies achievement, that signifies accomplishment. And the affirmation for this card is, my life expands into boundless horizons with unlimited powerful energy. A world of possibilities is open to me now. Now, the Envy card is interesting, but it correlates with the Page of Swords as well. This card shows a woman holding a huge pearl in one hand and a platter of coins and pearls in the other. She stands in a silver room looking out at a golden city on the horizon. She has a life of value, but she ignores that and longs for the shining prosperity she sees elsewhere. Instead of feeling happy and fulfilled, her desire for more only causes a deep sense of lack and dissatisfaction, and that energy shows in her dress. This card is definitely telling you to let go of the jealousy and acknowledge of the blessings you already have in your life. Now is the time to shift your focus, because after all, when you envy others, it only attracts more to them and not to you. That is important to remember. And remember, in tarot, energy is interchangeable, so it could be that someone else is looking at you with envy because of all of your successes and all of your accomplishments that they wish to have. It's always important to, be humble and to support others in their endeavors. It's also important to, help others if possible achieve their dreams, because all of that is going to create you some really wonderful karma. I hope you enjoyed this reading, dear Scorpio. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me on Instagram, and I will see you next time.